Hey everybody, it's your girl Star. Non-stop November. I missed my video yesterday. I went right on to sleep and then woke up at 3 a.m. So yeah, this is my non-stop November 13 and I am finally about to kick off what I've been procrastinating on, which is my story. I'm gonna break it down into probably like 3 pieces just because it's gonna be long and it's not gonna be detail. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? If you guys have any questions though, you can ask me and I will answer them. If you guys want me to do it as video response, I can do that. So yeah, let me go on and kick it off. The first segment, I am going to call Little Girl Lost. Which, that's a good book. If you guys haven't read that book, y'all should read it. It's a good book. It's a series. I think it's like 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken, or 4. Anyhow, yeah, and when I say I procrastinate like to the point where I found myself doing it just now. Like literally, like I'm rarely on my Snapchat like that. But now I want to get on there and sing and everything at 7 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I'm like, look at me. I'm just procrastinating. I am putting this off, which I have been putting this off for a while. Really, I think things that has transpired in my life has all happened for a reason. I'm not 100% sure what that reason is, but I know it's for a reason. And yeah. So basically, kick it off. Born in Chicago. Into a family, my mom and my dad. They were married. Yes, my father has a lot of children. A lot. So many I don't even know them all. But there's a set that I know. They're older than me, and then I know a set that's younger than me. So yeah, I kind of feel like my older siblings, I mean, I know they love me. I'm their sister, but I kind of think that they don't like me. Not because nothing I did, but because of our father. And the reason why I say that is because, we're not close. We don't call or whatever. Like, I have one older sister that I keep in contact with most, but it's still not like brother-sister relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have one, like, sibling relationship, and that's my little sister, Mariah. But, yeah, that's here nor there. And I feel like maybe, because what my dad does is, like when he was with my mom, it was cool. Like, I was everything, you know what I'm saying? But eventually they got divorced. And, like, whenever he got a new woman in his life, her kids and or the kids that he made with them became more important than me, and it was just kind of like whatever, like I didn't exist at times. So I'm assuming that maybe that's how my brothers and sisters felt when I came about. I mean, I can only guess. I mean, I can't say what they feel because I don't know how they feel. Yeah, so was in Chicago. My dad, he didn't do my mama right, and Chicago isn't really a place to raise a kid. So one night, my mom, I don't know, she woke up middle of the night. She said we were going to Kmart, I believe. Me, her, and my big brother. She had this big long car. Did she have that long car? I think so. But went on a ride. Got up, and was in Bloomington, Illinois. I was young. Um, as far as my childhood, I cannot say that I had a bad childhood at all. Eventually, my brother went back home with his mom, even though my mom is not his biological mother, but she was mother to my dad's older children. You know, treat them like they were her own. Anyhow, ended up in Bloomington. Um, in the beginning, my dad would come around Christmas. You know, he would do stuff like, and I thought my dad was like the world. Like, could nobody tell me nothing about my daddy? Nobody. Not my mama, not nobody. And like he was there and did things, and then it kind of slowed down. Just kind of slowed down. He would come get me and take me to Chicago every time we had breaks or things like that if he wasn't staying in Bloomington. So, yeah, my childhood was like in between Chicago and Bloomington, between both of my parents. Junior high school, he was still around. Like I would do things in school and he would come down and all of that good stuff. Now that I'm older, I don't believe that he did too much financially as far as helping my mom, because don't get me wrong, like, yeah, he'll bring me some Jordans. Yeah, I want a video game for Christmas. He's going to get me that video game or whatever. But me being a mother now, I see that it's more than just, you know, buying a pair of gym shoes here and there, buying a video game here and there. Because, like, really, well, maybe the shoes or whatever, but, like, the games, I didn't need that stuff. I'm sure my mom needed help with the day-to-day things. Like, I be feeling like I need help with my day-to-day life with my child by ourselves. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Going to my father's house to visit, it was always a string of women. Always. It was to the point where, like, it was 3 women in the house, and they all were messing with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, them was his, you know, your digs or whatever. I would see him be abusive to him, talk crazy to him, and all that stuff. And I just, you know, kind of looked and thought that that was normal. That's how, you know, life went. Now, I know, like, for some of my siblings, he was abusive towards them. As far as me, it wasn't, like, that many incidents, you know. I remember one, though, that was pretty bad. I don't know why I had an attitude or whatever, because he had a lounge, and it was called Starretta's Palace. It was on Madison. And then we lived upstairs from the lounge. So when I would come, like, he'd give me some Coleman's, and I'd sit under the bar, and they'll make me, you know, virgin daiquiris, things like that or whatever. And he had a girlfriend. I'm trying not to name people because I don't want anybody to, you know what I'm saying? That's just not right. I'm telling my story. You know what I'm saying? They didn't ask to be in my story. Anyhow, one of his girlfriends, she was there, and I don't know. I don't think I really cared for her. Like, he would let his girlfriends come, and, like, I had a gang of toys and stuff, but he would let them just tear my shit up. Like, just tear it up, you know, and I would feel some kind of way. But anyhow, the main incident with him and me, what he did was, I had an attitude about something. He told me to do something, and I just walked like I had an attitude. Like, I had an attitude about him telling me to do whatever. And he just went behind me and, like, just started hitting me. He was hitting me with his hands, you know, hitting me with a belt. And it wasn't like a regular whooping. It was like a beating. And then I guess he told me to get in the tub, and he went in the bathroom. And was beating me. Like, I was fucked up, like bruises, all kinds of crazy shit. So, after he was done, I don't know why I did not call my mom. I don't know if he wouldn't let me call my mom, because I'm the type, I'm telling my mama. But, later on that night, he left. And left me with the girlfriend and her kids and stuff. And, like, later on that night, he woke me up and apologized and took me to IHOP. And, told me he was sorry and all of that. And, like, bought me some things. And it was just like, okay, well, he didn't mean it. He was upset. A lot was going on. So, okay. And he took me out to eat and he bought me these things, so it's fine. So, I eventually went home. I told my mom she was not happy about it. She was not happy at all. I don't recall the conversation between them, but I know my mom was pissed off. I think he was supposed to have brought me home before, but kind of stagnated because I was all bruised up or whatever. So, yeah. And to this day, I'm starting to think, like, 'cause I've been in a string of crazy abusive relationships, and I carried that with me. As long as they apologize and buy me this or buy me that, they might mess me up in the face or they might mess me up, but as long as he buy me some new clothes and some shoes and stuff and I'm looking fresh, it don't matter. It don't matter if I got a black eye. I'm fresh, though. You know what I'm saying? He said he's sorry, so he's sorry. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have did what I did. I shouldn't have had an attitude. So I think I carried that with me. So yeah, but my mom was a wonderful mother. Kept me in church. Yeah, like anything I wanted, I basically got. Most would say that I was spoiled. It was just me and her, whatever, and I had cousins and stuff like that. Cousins spend the night and, hang out. We were sent to camp in the summer times. Me and one of my cousins, like, our birthday was always around the same, so we had our birthdays at the same time. Look, I just talked her up. I'm gonna have to call her back. Anyhow, yeah, so our parents were, my mom was a great parent. Now that I'm a single parent, like, I can appreciate her struggle for me. Yeah, so that was like younger times. So, as I was getting into high school and stuff, junior high school, that's when, like, the rebellious stuff came in. My dad was no longer really a factor. Like, he was married, he had kids or whatever, and I was just, every blue moon or whatever. He wouldn't buy anything for me and stuff like that. The only thing he would do is like, when I would come and visit, he would buy my cigarettes and let me smoke. And that was probably only because the woman he was with at the time smoked, and she smoked the same cigarettes as me, so it just kind of worked out. So that was that. Teenager, I became rebellious. Like, once again, my mom tried to keep me in church or whatever, and keep me in church and stuff. And me, like, I remember we used to do, like, Bible verses and going on seminars, and they kept us involved in church things, and I enjoyed it at first. Like, I did things. I was in 5th grade, I played the clarinet. Then once I got to junior high school, I wanted to be in the choir, so I had to quit band. I was getting uninterested anyway. Then, I tried out for show choir, made the show choir, did that for a little while, got uninterested in it. High school, freshman year, was good, I guess. I still carried baggage. I started drinking and smoking blunts and things like that. That was just pretty much, where everything started to go downhill for me. I would, I had older cousins, male cousins, so I would hang up under them. And, shoot, they was drink, smoke, kicking it. Well, not all of them, but I'm just saying. And, I wanted to do what they were doing. I hung up under them. We had parties. I got messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wasn't condoning it. Like, they would embarrass me. Like, I'll tell you, one time we was at a high school dance, and I was just, juking and stuff, doing what I wasn't supposed to do, because I'm all on the ground with the boy and stuff, getting it. My cousin them came in and kicked me in my ass, and I mean literally, get the fuck up. What are you doing? So, I mean, they were protective over me and things like that, but they can't nobody make you or stop nobody doing from what they don't want to do. So, at first I had a boyfriend, and I really liked him. He was a senior, though. And, I did my little stuff in high school, normal teenage girl stuff, fast, somewhat, fast. Had my little boyfriend or whatever, but he was a senior, and my mom and them didn't approve. I used to be trying to sneak over there or whatever. Little cousins be riding home on a school bus. I done told my mom I'm going over their mama house, my older cousin. They done called me on school bus, told my mama come home, get a whooping, or get, in trouble, get on punishment, she take me off punishment, or whatever. But he was a senior and I was a freshman. And to this day, I say y'all should just let me. It was cool when I was messing with him, because eventually I let, like, some of my friends and, my mom, them, and all of them kind of convinced me to not want to be with that person. So that was the end of him, you know what I'm saying? But, the next following years, man had a boyfriend here, man had a boyfriend there, nothing serious. And then 16, around that age, tongue piercings came out. So guess who want to go get their tongue pierced? My friends did or whatever, but they were a little bit older than me. But they went and got theirs and stuff, and my mom said I couldn't get one. So what did I do? I went on ahead and got my tongue pierced. And so I came home, and at first she didn't notice. I was just eating on ice and stuff, and then eventually I told her myself, to my mom. So ended up having to go to Chicago, live with my dad. Stayed there. Didn't like it. Like I said, it wasn't like, it was kind of like I was his in-home babysitter, seemed like. Yeah, so it wasn't, I'm sorry y'all, I smoked a cigarette. My nerves. So yeah, it was just in-house babysitter, whatever. Eventually went back to mom. Didn't want to go to school and stuff. Didn't want to go to school. I wanted to be grown. And that's when I started dealing with grown men. Like, they were, I'm 15, 16, 17. They're older than me. So yeah, me and my friends, homegirls, we used to, catch the bus to school, walk to school, and then shit. One of our friends had a car, we would leave school, kick it, go smoke blunts and shit. Listening to music, all that kind of stuff, just being grown, trying to be grown. So that was that part. Eventually I started dating the older guys. Yeah, just hanging out, going to the club, using anybody ID, getting it in, kicking it, all of that stuff. Normal teenage stuff, rebellious, hard-headed. Wouldn't come in on curfew. My mom called the police on me every single night when I broke curfew. Or she would call my cell phone and she would get so mad she would cuss. Now, my mom don't cuss. So, she called my cell phone, get so mad, cuss me out, tell me to come home. Then I may come home. When I come home, she let the police know that I was there. And she would say, she did that because where we lived, if they would have caught me outside, you know, it would have been on her. It wouldn't have been on me. It would have been on her. So that's why she did what she did or whatever. I know she was just trying to keep me in line. She wanted better for me. By this time, she got married. Yeah, that age, it was crazy. Like I said, dated a few guys. Not really gonna go all into that. Then I met one guy. He was older than me, and that's who I was with. Not gonna bash him. Like, to this day, that's still my friend. You know, relationship was crazy. We used to fight. You know, but he kind of took care of me. You know, and he was going in and out of jail or whatever. So that was kind of crazy. You know, we would fight, but I would think, well, we fought, but, you know, he just bought me some new shoes. He always buying bottles for me and my friends. All this and all of that. Turns out he was married. Y'all want to hear that story? You can go back in my videos. Nonstop November, have you dated a married man? And I kind of broke down that situation. Didn't know he was married. Just in case y'all don't want to go back. Didn't know he was married for a long time during the relationship. But then once I found out, I felt like I was already in love with him. And eventually went to jail, came out. His wife at this time, or baby mom, whatever you want to call her, she moved on. So it was kind of like by default. Then I didn't think that. I thought, you know, he loved me, so he wanted to be with me. But truth be told, just by default, I was his girl. We, you know, lived together and all of that. Left home for no reason. My mom never kicked me out. I just wanted to be grown. So I left home. In between those times, like, I would do dumb stuff. Like, I had friends or whatever, and, like, I ain't had no driver's license. And none of these people, I have no hard feelings toward anybody. Did nobody make me do anything that I did not want to do. I was just young and dumb, and I didn't mind, I guess, at the time. So, yeah. Like, we would do things like they, you know, was out hustling or whatever, and they come on, you know, come ride with us to the city, and, you know, you hold stuff or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. You know, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm a down ass bitch. Not really thinking, like, girl, if you get caught with this shit, your ass going to jail. Or either I would drive, like, and they'll be like, you don't have no license. You ain't never had no license, but my license suspended, so I can go to jail. They ain't gonna do nothing to you. Things like that, which I've never got caught driving or whatever. There had been some scares, like coming on the highway back or whatever, getting pulled over by the police, having all this shit, and scared, but yet still continued to do it. Yeah. So, yeah, basically moved out with my boyfriend or whatever, moved in with him, you know, whether it's with his mama or we had our own place, like, you know, and I just thought I was doing it. Like, yeah, my lip might get busted every now and again. Yeah, he was cheating or whatever, but I looked good. I had money. I was cool. You know what I'm saying? That was my mindset then. So, yeah, that was that. And then, you know, I want to say about 19 or whatever. Mind you, all this time still drinking and drugging and kicking it. You know, all my friends had kids and stuff. Not all of them, but most of them. So they had kind of piped down. But I was the one like, yeah, I ain't never having no kids. Turn up, you know. Like, I thought I was just living my life. Fast money. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted for anything. Like, it was all good to me. But didn't realize that would come back to bite me. Yeah, had encounters with the police. Real disrespectful, cussing them out, getting into fights, just buck wild, you know what I'm saying? And then my boyfriend at the time was going to the joint for driving. So he was like, you ain't working or nothing, you ain't doing nothing, you gotta keep up with yourself. Like, you know, you gotta, you know, basically get out there and hustle if you want to maintain this lifestyle, because I'm going to be gone. Now, I'm going to leave you something so you can be straight, but, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do what you got to do. or whatever if you want to maintain this lifestyle. So I'm like, yeah, I could do that, you know what I'm saying, and take care of my man and all of that stuff. And, you know, so, you know, left things kind of nice for me. Went to go visit him in the county before he went to the joint. And, you know, he had me take a girl under my wing. And, you know, she was on crack. And he had me take her under my wing like she could make the money for you. You really ain't got to do nothing. Just keep her close. Woo, womp, womp, womp. Come to find out one day going to visit him in the county that they had been screwing. And that was his girlfriend. And he told me, you know, yeah, this my bitch. I heard you doing this shit. I heard you doing that. Mind you, so the girl is going back to him, telling him shit. And not the full truth, because yes, I was kicking it, I was turning up, but I was doing what I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing what I was supposed to do. That time I started taking ecstasy pills and things like that. Like, I felt like, you know, the money come at night time. So I need to do whatever I need to do to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, money don't sleep. So yeah, I did all of that, drugging and kicking it and all of that kind of stuff. Went there. He said that he was that was his girl. All this other stuff. Mind you, I have your truck. I have all your clothes in my apartment. I have the other 2 cars that we have, but this is your girl, and I gotta respect that. I'm gonna honor that. See, what you thought was you had the fear in me, but you can't do shit to me from behind the jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like where the whole downfall, like that's at that point in my life, that's when everything went down. Like, yeah. So, yeah, let me, I don't know, smoke me a cigarette. I'm going to stop this. And then I'm going to pick up where I left off at. Yeah. It's kind of hard, me talking about this or whatever. And like I said, these people that I am talking about in this story, like, nobody made me do anything. Okay? I don't have any hard feelings towards anybody. I believe that everything that happened in my life was for a reason. I'm not 100% sure what that reason is, but it's the reason behind the madness. So, yeah. Anyhow, part 2 coming up soon.